IBF light welterweight champion Richardson Hitchins is doubling down on the promotional front ahead of his June 14th title defense against George Kambosos Jr., aiming to generate interest by highlighting his opponent's former glories. The bout is set to take place at the theater at Madison Square Garden in New York and will be broadcast live on DAZN. However, the boxing community remains largely unimpressed. Critics argue that Hitchins is deliberately choosing an opponent whose best days are behind him. George Kambosos Jr. enters the ring carrying a troubling recent record of 2 wins and 3 losses in his last 5 outings. More importantly, since stepping up to the 140-pound division, the Australian has fought only once, and that victory came against the relatively unknown Jake Willie, a name that fails to command serious respect in the current landscape. Despite the criticism, Hitchins is trying to frame the fight as a stepping stone to greater recognition.
You can't overlook Kambosos. This is a guy that everybody wanted to see me and Teofimo Lopez fight, right? You couldn't get Teofimo Lopez. He had a mandatory. They chose to go that route. Why not get the guy that beat Teofimo Lopez? George Kambosos is a former undisputed champion.
It's a narrative Hitchins is committed to pushing, even if many believe it lacks credibility. Analysts and fans alike have questioned the logic of this matchup, branding it more of a strategic marketing move than a meaningful challenge. A win over Kambosos is unlikely to elevate Hitchins' stock in the eyes of purists who believe that opponents like Oscar Duarte, Sandor Martin, Subriel Matias, or even a rematch with Liam Paro would have provided more legitimacy. Still, Hitchins insists that Kambosos represents a significant test.
He's never lost to nobody but guys that were at the top of boxing, you know what I'm saying? And he also got a big win over, some are saying, one of the best fighters in the world, in Teofimo Lopez. So this is a fight for me to prove myself. Liam Paro was supposed to beat me, and they were supposed to have Liam Paro and George Kambosos in Australia. I spoiled their plans.
Nevertheless, it's clear that the public isn't buying the narrative. Hitchins' attempt to rebrand Kambosos as a major name in the division is falling flat. Many still see the Australian as a one-hit wonder, riding on the momentum of his surprise victory over Lopez, an upset that seems more distant with every loss. Since 2022, Kambosos has managed just 2 wins, one against Maxie Hughes and the other against Jake Willie. Neither victory has done much to convince skeptics of his continued relevance at the elite level.
But when Richardson Hitchins stepped in to take the Kambosos fight, they say I'm picking, I'm choosing, I'm picking, but it's boxing. At the end of the day, George Kambosos is a big name. This is one step closer to solidifying my name in the sport of boxing. The guys are saying, oh, you're scared of Kambosos, you're scared of Subriel Matias, you're this or that. I know the threat that Matias brings, but I honestly don't feel like Matias fought anybody that's near my level. All the big names I was at 140 went to 47 anyway, so why not? I do make 140. It's not hard for me to make 140, but I don't want to just hold on to the IBF and having to keep dealing with a 10-pound rehydration clause. So
this last point opens the door to a broader discussion. Hitchins' apparent frustration with the IBF's weight rehydration rule. If the clause is such a burden, perhaps the logical move would be to vacate the title and move up to welterweight. He may soon be forced into that position regardless. A potential unification fight against WBA champion Gary Antuanne Russell or WBC title holder Alberto Puello would present serious risk, with both fighters seen as stylistic nightmares for Hitchins.
Liam Paro is a good champion. Subriel Matias, easy. Liam Paro beat Subriel Matias in a unanimous decision after getting a point taken away. So we can't get the Teofimo fight next. I'm looking to come at Subriel Matias, and I'm looking to make easy work with Subriel Matias and shut everybody up. And after that, I want to hear crickets. And hopefully after that, if we can't get a big fight, we'll move up to 147 or see what's going on.
Still, the idea of fighting Teofimo Lopez seems more like wishful thinking than a realistic goal. Lopez is now chasing big money, low-risk bouts, names like Jaron Ennis, Ryan Garcia, or Devin Haney. Hitchins simply doesn't offer the kind of payday Lopez is looking for. His best bet may indeed be moving to 147 pounds and hoping to catch the attention of Turki Alalshik, who could orchestrate a marquee matchup. But even that path is uncertain. Adding another layer of complexity, Subriel Matias is scheduled to face WBC champion Alberto Puello on July 12th at Louis Armstrong Stadium in Queens. If Matias loses that fight, Hitchins might find himself locked out of any relevant unification opportunities at 140 entirely.
It's a lot of options right now on the table after George Kambosos. I'm looking to do what I can do with the belt, and when I say do what I can do, that means unifying. I don't want to keep defending the belt, making big fights with the belt. So if I can't get no big fights with the IBF, I'm out of here. Or we'll drop it and hopefully we get another title shot.
Hitchins concluded when asked about potential bouts with Devin Haney or Rolando Romero.
Hopefully I can get a shot with Ryan Garcia or somebody, but I just want to show that Richardson Hitchins is one of the best fighters in the sport of boxing.
That goal, however, seems increasingly at odds with the choices Hitchins is making. If he truly wants to prove his place among the best, the Kambosos fight may not help his cause. It may, in fact, delay it. And unless Hitchins is prepared to take on the division's most dangerous names, whether at 140 or 147, he runs the risk of being seen as a belt holder rather than a real force in the sport. After June 14th, Hitchins will need to make some difficult decisions. The IBF rehydration clause may soon be the least of his worries. Thanks for tuning in again. If you enjoyed the video, drop a like and share your thoughts in the comments. Don't forget to subscribe so you never miss any exciting content. See you next time. Stay strong and motivated. Take care.